Okay, let's go down to the three things that I want to talk about today. I think Tim also mentioned identity. Anybody know who this pretty girl is? What was that? Are you sure you guys don't know who she is? I'm sure the guys will know. Okay, never mind. Let me ask you this question. When you saw this picture, what did you think? Who is this person? Did you ask yourself, or did you say, oh, that's a Chinese girl, or that's a Malaysian, oh, that's a human being? Something Dr. Chandra alluded to just now. Don't just stop at looking at a person as a Malaysian. We help people, we love people because they are human beings, not because they are just Malaysians, right? When you introduce yourself, when you go out of the country, you introduce yourself as, hi, I'm Jonson, I'm Malaysian. Tapi when we come back to our country, somehow our identity becomes, I'm Chinese, I'm Dayak. Why is that? And how do we relate to each other when we see someone walk into class? Do you see, oh, that Indian girl is coming in? Or do you see, hey, my friend is coming in, or that Malaysian is coming in? Our own identity. This is about our awareness, how we think. Identity and ideology are somewhat related. That's why I put them together. And, well, they all have the I, starts with the I. Senang kan? Senang kan? Yeah. Ideology. What are our beliefs? How do you think society should be? If you don't have an ideology, you've got no business in politics. And sadly, after it, I will tell you, in Malaysia, most of our political parties don't have an ideology. Whether I agree with you on your ideology or not is not the issue. Whether as a political party, a very basic thing, if you don't even have that, you can't even answer a question, how are we to live? Then something missing. And this is the point. New politics is not about using new media. It's not about knowing how to tweet, knowing how to say all the right things, use Facebook. No. If anything, new politics should be about politics of principles. We fight for a certain cause, not for a certain person. And that's the problem we have today. When you fight for a certain person, you can twist and turn any situation and use especially race and religion to prop up yourself. But if, let's say, your ideology is about human rights, social justice, you will be very clear how you fight for your cause. It's not about dividing, it's about understanding, it's about responsibility. So that's my first point. Number two, integrity and influence. I see these two words as related. Can you see at the back? 2 plus 2 is 4. Huh? This word, integrity, is far too often just limited to being honest. It's much more than that. Much, much more than that. I don't know how to translate it to Malay, but kalau saya cakap lah, saya cakap ikhlas. I know that's not the word, I know it's integrity. But when you are sincere, ikhlas, if I'm not mistaken, is sincere, right? Betul tak? Betul. Ikhlas in the sense, ikhlas dengan diri sendiri. Ikhlas dengan orang lain. Ikhlas dengan Tuhan juga. Whatever you do, you have to walk the talk. And that's what integrity means. When my boss tells me to release a press statement saying A, B, C, but if I don't believe A, B, C, then I don't release it. That's basically what it means, right? And that's why I took a stand in my party elections last year. I don't know if you know which party I'm from, but we can have a chat later on if you want to know. But the point is this. People will always say, oh, you belong in a political party, must be disciplined, must be loyal. First person that you have to be loyal to are the rakyat, not to your political leader, not to your party. If you want to be in that kind of politics, yes, go ahead and join one of the political parties that do it that way. But I can tell you this, with this kind of paradigm, this country will never achieve the unity that we are talking about. Politics that's based on respect, on love, on social justice, on human rights. No, because this kind of politics is about winning your votes by any means necessary. So what is the foundation of reform?
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, alright, it'll be very fast. What is the foundation of reform? If we don't have that integrity, it's not going to happen. But if we have that integrity, then we will have trust. With that trust, we will be able to influence things. Kalau you tak percaya orang tu, dia minta you pinjam duit, you pinjam tak? Tak pinjam. Tapi kalau you percaya orang tu, dia minta 1,000 pun kalau you ada, you bagi. That, in a way, is influence. Right? To influence people, young people, old people, to go down on the streets, if you don't have that integrity, if you don't have the trust of the people in you, that's not going to happen. So basically, that is short-term versus long-term. Short-term, yes, you can rah and win the election, but in the long term, if you want to achieve the real change, then you are talking about starting with integrity. Alright, I will move on. Last one, you will recognize all these apps. What is the main characteristic or traits of youth that is so powerful? It is our idealism. I sudah 40, but I still consider myself young. It's our idealism. If we give that up, because orang tua kata, no, it doesn't work that way, then you would have lost everything. I beg to differ with Dr. Chandra. Mahatma Gandhi, old man, I believe he was still a young man at heart, as I'm sure Dr. Chandra is. It's not so much our physical age, isn't it? It's our idealism. It's a spirit of humanity that keeps us young. So I think the idealism part, we must keep it. That's your strength. That's your essence. Innovation, why do I put it up there? Because with our idealism, sometimes we do all sorts of things. You look at Steve Jobs. If not for Steve Jobs, tak ada Apple. Kalau tak ada Apple, no iPad, no iPhone, no Mac. How young was he when he did that? He had idealism, is it? PC and Windows is not nice. He came out. Look at the fellas in Google. Young people. They had ideals. They innovated. Don't let the current system put you in a box. That's basically what I'm saying. And why I put good and versus evil there, basically, when Google started, I don't know whether you still think they're all about good, nothing evil, but that was their intention. It was a higher purpose. What they wanted to do was something for a higher purpose. So of course this is a very cliche, it's think out of the box. Now my last slide basically is just to recap what I've shared. And this is not a three-step process. Ini bukan buat satu, buat dua, buat tiga. It has to be there simultaneously. If you have idealism, but if you have no integrity, it doesn't work. If you have no sense of identity as a Malaysian, but then you have all this innovation, then you come up with all sorts of campaigns to divide the country. Right? What I've shared with you are basic things. I know there are lots more things like ability to speak,